Hello and welcome. Happy New Year. It's Lisa McCardle of Inner Wisdom Awakening here with you, celebrating January, celebrating the new year, the new you, and really here to set our intentions and check out what the energy frequencies are for this new month. We enter with the number one, right? It's January. It's always the number one. And what we're really accustomed to doing with these number one new year, new days is to set all kinds of intentions and resolutions. And I think that the statistics are like 90% of people never actually live their resolutions. So what if you set intention of one frequency, really one word or one expression that you have the capacity to keep coming back to as the year unfolds through you? And if you stick around to the end of this video, we're going to get to what the four themes will say for this January, for you to harness this January in the best possible way to get you set for this, the magic of 22. So let's start with numerology. Of course, again, it's the one, it's the fresh start, it's the new beginning, but it's a 7 universal month. So if you take the 1 plus the 2 plus the 2 plus the 2, so 2022 is a 6 year, and I'll do a video all about the year in a little bit, but it's a 6 year. So we came out of the 5 of 2021, which is all about change, a little bit of chaos, a lot of confusion, a lot of deconstruction for rebirth. And we've all lived that. And now we're moving into the 6. The 222 is all about the number 6. It's nurturing. It's the nurturing of the mother. It's the expectancy of change, of creation, of collaboration, of kind of licking our wounds, if you will, from all that has occurred and transformed over that 5 years. So we're coming into this kind of nurturing, new birth, the love of the mother, right? That's what's coming through for 2022. And so January becomes a 7 universal month. Now, 7s are one of my favorite numbers. And what's beautiful about numerology is the numbers tell you what they are, what they do based on their shape and their form. So 7 brings us from heaven to earth. And it's a time of great knowledge. It's a quest for your inner wisdom. It's a quest for a deeper connection to God, to spirit, to source, to your higher intelligence, to your higher self. The 7 energy brings you the awareness. It brings you into a deepening of presence, a quest for knowledge, the deep wisdom, right? That heaven to earth frequency that only that higher realm can really bring down, right? So the entire purpose of planet Earth right now, as we're in this, of the humanity of planet Earth right now, is to bridge this gap between heaven to earth, bringing heaven to earth. And we do that through our consciousness and through our awareness, through our great remembrance, who you are at soul level. When that is embraced, embodied, enhanced, expanded upon, you are fulfilling your human purpose here, which is to be of the light, to be in the great remembrance during this great awakening. And to bridge the heaven to earth, to activate your soul's wisdom through this human experience of embodiment. And this fresh January 7 month in this fresh new year is amplifying that, bringing heaven to earth. It's about going deep into your spiritual health, into your spiritual wealth, into your spiritual wisdom. It's the deep dive into the great knowing, which requires you to be very present and to listen deeply to your inner truth, to turn off all the outside explosions is what spirit is saying, because it can feel like that, right? To turn off all the outside noise and to turn up the inner wisdom volume so you can hear, to remember, to bridge the gap of your greatest wisdom here to earth plane reality. Let's move into the astrology. We enter this new year, this new month, with a big bam on the 2nd of January, which is a beautiful, super new moon in Capricorn. It's super because of the proximity to the earth. So whatever the energy, the frequency that any moon brings, when it's closer to the earth, it gets expanded, amplified. So this is going to be about creating a lot of ahas, a lot of awareness, a lot of eyes wide open to see through the light, epiphanies. You can expect that on a personal level. You can expect it on a global level. It's kind of a parting of the veil is what I'm getting at. An amplification through the dark to bring the light back, right? So new moons take us in, and they also bring in a fresh start. It is the astrological start to the month, right? So we have the new year, and then it's paired. So the window of time between January 1st and through riding through the 2nd, through the new moon, it's your time to set your intentions. It's your time to get really clear on what it is you're willing to know, to become, to live, to experience. And you did so much letting go over the last month, but definitely over the last year, in preparation for the receiving of the new in so many ways. So you can expect great breakthroughs in the silence, in the quiet, in the new of this new super new moon. January 14th, Mercury goes retrograde. It's our first Mercury retrograde of the year. Yes, it definitely feels like Mercury is always retrograde. And worry not, you've done it so many times, you know how to do this. Dotting every I, crossing every T, checking your emails, checking them twice, checking everything. You know how to do this. You've done it a million times. We'll be in the Mercury retrograde from January 14th through February the 3rd. And we also will experience a full moon, a Cancer full moon, January 17th. And when Cancer is ruled by the moon. So when Cancer full moon in its own sign, it expands everything greatly. And so it's also the ruling planet of home. So you can expect, as full moons always do, they bring a little bit of chaos. They shine a lot of light, right? They give you this great opportunity to see what you might have been resistant to seeing. And so this full moon is going to gift you with the opportunity to look at anything that's disruptive in your home life, or anchor your home in a different way. And that can be the home of the heart. That can be the physical home. So many opportunities for transformation, for change, for greater home anchoring. And so that means if you've been resisting any changes, it's going to be amplified, especially because on January the 17th, Uranus is going to go direct. And it's been retrograde for about 5 months. So in a real kind of chaos, Uranus is about change. And we've been in that big change portal for 5 months. And so this full moon showing you really clearly, and then anything with Uranus going direct, any changes that you have known you need to make and you have been resistant to making are going to be really illuminated. And the message is, like, you choose, you make the changes, or the universe is going to come in and it's going to make the changes for you. So you've had this 5 months of the exploration of what needs to change. And now it's go time. It's go time. It's time to make the changes, especially this will have a lot of effect in your home, in your relationships, especially because we're still riding with Venus in her retrograde phase. So there's all this exploration time for you, and it's really time to make the changes. And remember, when you position yourself to choose the change, you know when change is coming. It's going to come whether you choose it or whether the universe chooses it for you. It's always more comfortable. Change can sometimes not be comfortable, but when it is a chosen change, it tends to land you with a little bit more grace than when it is like happening for you. So everything is always happening through you. The sooner you choose it, the more the perception is of ease within the change. So, and then on January 19th, Sun goes into Aquarius, my sign, and that is ruled by Uranus as well. So we are moving into a lot of change, but being amplified by that kind of nurturing of like, it's time, not like I have to make these changes, but like I'm ready to make these changes. And we also start to amplify the sacred rebel time, right? Aquarians brings in that like truth speaker, living outside of, living in the edges, that that just kind of blowing up the matrix a little bit, right? So that we can expand. I mean, we're in the golden age of Aquarius, and we're seeing what's happening in this earth plane. So the sun moves into Aquarius, it gets you standing up, making the changes that you know you need to make, and being really sacred, sacred rebel, like sacred in your rebellion to move forward and move forth in change. It's exciting indeed. So the 4 words that you most need to play with, get friendly with, find your way to being with this month that came through Spirit. Number 1 was knowledge. They were calling it the Great Knowing. So we've been playing through the Great Awakening. And what Spirit said was, it's the Great Knowing. Like, you know so much, but there's so many programs of the mind and so many distortions. And so it's so hard, seemingly so hard right now in this distortion to get really clear. But at the end of the day, your inner wisdom, your intuition, you know underneath it all, and you know by how things feel. You know. So your knowledge, it's time to move into the Great Knowing, trusting your inner wisdom, trusting the sensations in your body, even if it doesn't make any sense from the perspective of the mind. It's time to get clear and stick with what it is that you do know, and trusting. Oh, I got a little far ahead. No. Stick in the knowing for now. Number 2 is strength. It's really time to build those muscles of strength. That is physically, it is emotionally, it is spiritually. It's time to really amplify and come into ownership, is the word, of just how strong you really are. Just how much strength and fortitude you really have. Like, you are so incredibly strong, and you have been through so much. And it's time to acknowledge that. It's time to, in your Great Knowing, to honor just how resilient and strong you really are at soul level. Number 3 is connection. This 7-month, right, brings heaven to earth. It's time to really get amplified into the strength of your connection to self, to God, to Spirit, Creator, Universal Intelligence, to your kitties, whatever it is, to all the things, to really get into your greatest connection so that you can get more creativity, greater clarity, greater wisdom, get those direct downloads so that you can get moving forward in this year with all of the things that are for you. And the last, number 4 is trust, is to trust it all. To trust yourself, to trust your knowledge, to trust your connection, to trust your strength, to trust that you are a sovereign, sacred soul being who's bringing heaven to earth through the 7, to trust your footing, to trust the leap, and then to get moving. So we bring you into knowledge, wisdom, the wisdom of your knowledge, into your greatest strength, connection, and trusting it all. May this month prove to be a beautiful, grace-filled contribution to you, to your well-being, and to us as a collective of humanity. I am sending so much love to your light. I am honored to be on this journey with you. We rise together, and most importantly, we are doing it. Have a blessed month. I love you. See you soon.